Okay. I have just finished watching the show Santa Clarita Diet. It's pretty good. Uh, Finished the whole season 1, season 2. Uh, I feel like it's a pretty good show. Timothy Olyphant is great as the character Joel, who is just this. He's he's just like this immense dude who's just constantly having to just constantly just having to hold in all this like rage, not rage, like this stress and everything like that, and he has no one to talk to, and no one to like express himself to. And his wife Sheila, played by Drew Barrymore, is also really good because she's very like you can buy the character's motivations or anything like that, and the family all around is a great family, and you want them to like succeed because they're not really terrible people. They're more or less like people who have been brought into this world that they don't really want to be in. They're normal people. They're not bad. Like you don't. You're not. It's not like one of those shows where like, oh, they hate each other and they like, they hate each other and they don't like each other. But then once they become murderers, they're amazing. No, it's one of those shows like they understand each other, they talk to each other, but then like this changed their lives forever. This event changed their lives forever. They don't initially start murdering people. They don't want to hurt people. They're just forced into this, and they want to keep each other together as a family. And you can really relate to that, and you can really understand like, oh, okay, they're not terrible people. It's not like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where like, oh, you're like, oh, these are terrible people, and I don't want them to succeed, but they're really funny. It's like the funniness comes from like these people. They're not preferring the situation, and their life just keeps on getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And when they're not, they're not in any way like enjoying doing any of this. Well, they are enjoying it in a way, but not like they're not enjoying it like we're out and just took somebody's life. It doesn't. I don't love this. They kind of just they explain why they do like killing people. The mom Sheila, they explain like, oh, she kind of has this rage and this potential, and she wants to express that in some sort of way, and the way she does that is by killing people. Joel, his performance is really Timothy Olyphant's performance is really good as like this person who is constantly just like he does not want to be a murderer, and but he loves his wife so much that he will do anything to keep her forever. And like you root for these characters because how intense they're willing to go in order to save their family and to save like what they have for each other. And they're not like it's not like one of those things where like, oh, their daughter's annoying and I hate her. Like their daughter is actually kind of her daughter's performance is really good because you can understand where she's coming from. Like she's kind of rebellious, but she doesn't want to stress her parents out, but she also wants to be a part of their lives more. Not to say that like she wants to become a murderer also, but she wants to be. She's trying to transition to this period of like, I don't want to be just another teen girl, and a I don't want to be another teen girl, and I don't want to be a like a teen girl, like a mediocre teen girl who's always on their phone, and like another teen girl who's constantly just like, I want to help my parents. I want to be there for my parents, and I want to take that stress out of their lives. And you can really root for these characters because they're not horrible people. They're good people brought in a situation where that makes their lives horrible. And another really good performance is that every character is just thought out very well. There's not like an annoying character. Like every character is done very well, and you really like the ways they explore the plot. A lot of the jokes, some of the jokes are sitcom-y, like you can see that joke coming from like a mile away. but because they're done by such charismatic actors as Timothy Olyphant and Drew Barrymore, you can kind of like, oh, okay, I like how they did that take of that very, very common joke, you know? And some people don't like it, some people, and I can understand that, I can see your problems with it, but the effects are pretty bad, don't, like, the effects are pretty bad. I will say that. Like, there's an effect specifically where her eye, I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll see when it comes. But, like, the thing about it is that the effects, I think that's intentional. Like, you see her eating, like, a cheap hand, and you're like, oh, okay, this is intentional in how, like, over the top bloody it is. There are some effects that are good, but not, like, they're not, like, a lot of them are like, oh, this is sloppy, cheap effects. And I can kind of buy that. But so many effects are good. I like how bizarre their situation gets, and how bizarre, like, and everything else gets. It's not like one of those things where, like, the entire show is just her murdering people. Like, they add different things in order to engage you into the plot. But you can feel for this family, you can feel where they're coming from and everything like that. And they make tough decisions, but at the end of every episode, you still know that they love each other and they don't want to be apart from each other. And which is why, like, it's such a tragic thing, because, like, they love each other and they just want to be with each other, but this thing happened to them, but it made one of them, like, really, it made all of them come together in a different way. But it's still a horrible thing, murdering people, but, like, they're not trying to murder innocent people. Throughout the entirety of the show, they haven't murdered anyone innocent, like someone who hasn't followed, like, they murder, throughout the entire show, they stay consistent, and they murder people who do deserve it. Like, I don't want to spoil who they murder, but, like, there are people who do deserve it, and they show it in the show. Like, it's not one of those things where, like, oh, they murdered someone who was innocent, and then 5 minutes later it was shown that he was, like, a pedophile or something like that. No, they learn about the person and see if they're a murderer. Like, they do hold off killing first people if they don't know that much about them. And they do try and help other people. They try and help other people and try to, like, see where this all started so that way they can stop it. And you still understand, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I like this show because these characters are cool, they're funny, but they're very, very, like, tragic. But I would like to see, like, another season of this show come by, or have it. Timothy Olyphant's such a great actor. His performance in this show was just incredible. So, can't wait for season 3. I'll probably watch it. Like, another good thing about the show, only 30 minutes. So you can watch an entire season in a day. And it's only 10 episodes a season. That's what they should do with the Marvel Netflix shows. Again, I do like the Marvel Netflix shows. Just Daredevil Season 1, Daredevil Season 2, and Punisher Season 1. Oh, and Jessica Jones Season 1. But other than that, I don't really like Netflix shows. But I still watch all of them. So. But, yeah, I would, if I had to recommend Santa Clarita Diet, my categories would be someone who is not afraid of gore, someone who likes comedic actors, and someone who enjoys dark comedies. Like, dark comedies in the style of, like, Fargo, and, like, you know, like, Raising Arizona, all those dark comedies. If you like those dark comedies, this is very much in the style of that. The characters are likable, so and the girl has a great performance. So you can kind of understand where they come from. So